This is Outnumbered. Hello, everybody. I'm Harris Faulkner, along with my co-hosts Emily Compagno, Kayleigh McEnany. Also joining us today, Kennedy and Charlie Hurt. Just a quick pause here. Charlie, you ready to put the hurtin' on the politics?
Yes, indeed. It is so nice to see everybody's face.
I know,
person.
right?
Yes.
Yes. Thanks for being here.
Spectacular. Thank you for having me.
Let's roll. We'll get into the big headline for now. After more than a year of masking up at the airport, other public transportation, we have finally reached this moment.
It's over immediately. Congratulations.
Day that a judge overturned the mask mandate. My company announces at this moment, if you choose to, you may remove your mask.
I don't know. That's the reaction I get when the Mountain Dew is free. Anyway, passengers rejoicing after a pilot announced mid-flight that the CDC's federal mask mandate no longer applies. A federal judge in Florida ruled yesterday the Biden administration did not have the authority to continue enforcing that mandate. The White House called the decision disappointing. Our own Peter Doocy reminded Press Secretary Jen Psaki that the media have been allowed to go maskless for weeks in her presence.
About this mask ruling out of a federal court in Florida, that it's a disappointing decision, and you say you continue to recommend that people wear masks. Why is it that we can sit here in the White House briefing room with no masks, but people can't sit in an airplane cabin with no masks?
Well, Peter, I'm not a doctor. These determinations, remember the masking guidance is green, yellow, and red. We are currently in a green zone in Washington, D.C., so they're not recommending it.
Kayleigh.
Yeah, it reminds me of Define a Woman. I'm not a biologist. That seems to be a favorite of libs these days. She also was asked, is the mask mandate still in effect? To which she replied, I don't know. Okay, well, you're the press secretary. You know how government works. That's a snarky answer. The answer is we respect the opinions of the federal judiciary, including that of a federal judge in Florida, but that's not what she said. Biden administration calling this disappointing. Harris, I was mid-flight last night. Middle of my flight, the flight attendant stands there and says, breaking news, if you want to take off your mask, take off your mask.
How about that?
There were cheers, there was an eruption, there was joy. So if the Biden administration wants to express disappointment as America collectively cheers, they can try to do that. But I hope Jen Psaki at the podium today fights very hard against this ruling. I hope President Biden does. I hope they show the true autocrats they are, because that's exactly what they are. And also, shame on those talking about this federal judge. I've met her. I've met her at the Federalist Society, spoken to her. She's a smart woman, 4 federal judicial clerkships, worked at Jones Day. Yeah, go ahead, go after her, go after America. We're all celebrating.
You probably saw your friend and cohort, Jose Aristumuño, on with me just a little bit ago, and he said what you said. As Democrats, they need to respect what this judge has gone, because if it becomes a political pond, they won't win on this.
Jose's a smart guy.
Kennedy.
People are ready to move on. People in both parties. Politically, this has been a losing issue for the Democrats, but practically, this is the decision we should have been living under for the last year and a half. And people know that. And you touched on this in your last hour. If you are immunocompromised, if it is unsafe for you to come in contact with a variety of microbes, you should be masking. And that is your choice. And people who need to protect themselves, they know enough at this point in the virus that that's what they have to do. But arbitrary mandates, this judge called it capricious, they are an overreach of federal power and a violation of what was intended in the first place, which was an abuse of the word sanitation, which is supposed to refer to sanitizing things and not people. So this is how you get into a federal pickle. I'm glad that this judge put the
Although there are some hand-washing rules I'd like to put into play, but that was before the pandemic. Watching grown folk walk out of a public restroom doing the pat-pat. Yikes. Emily.
The best pickle I ever got into was at the Beta Breakers in San Francisco wearing a tutu, me against a security
we have
guard.
time.
I was caught.
Go on, please. We got it.
So here's the thing. Arbitrary and capricious, that's a legal standard. And to your point, that absolutely this decision should have been handed down quite a long time ago. Now, this judge ruled that this authority was outside the scope, in fact, of the authority of the CDC. It violated the Administrative Procedures Act. And in addition to being arbitrary and capricious, which basically means that it's not within your scope of authority and it's not based on some type of superseding data that moves that out of the way, it also violated the rulemaking and comment period required before federal rules. Now, there's a procedure set up in this country that we have to respect, and that's why there's so much power vested in the people to vote, right? Because we respect the process, and we respect thus our elected officials to carry that out. So I find it fascinating when Jen Psaki says she's disappointed by this, because as a citizen, as an American, I'm disappointed by our administration acting outside the scope of their authority. I am disappointed every day by this White House abusing their authority, abusing their bloated power, like every other federal agency under this so-called pandemic that has dragged on longer than a zombie.
You know, I'm glad you broke it down along those legal terms, because Kayleigh, when you were describing the capriciousness of you can take your mask off now, right? I mean, look at how the science flipped on a flight. Right? I mean, or were they never really paying as much attention to the science? Yeah, I mean, was that really the deciding factor ever for many of those leaders, would be my question. All right, so we're just now learning that if you are on Air Force One and you're headed to New Hampshire with the president today because he's going to do the bipartisan infrastructure to continue promoting the things that the administration says it's done well, if you're on that flight, you have to wear a mask. There's a mask mandate on that flight.
Yeah, so apparently the new freedom doesn't extend to Air Force One. No, I mean, and you know, they can try to dismiss this and belittle this, and Jen Psaki can talk about how disappointed the White House is in all of this. But however disappointed they are in this ruling, they're disappointed in the Constitution, because all of these rules are not just capricious rules. The rules are designed to protect our liberties, and it's supposed to be difficult to take people's liberties away. That's the whole point of the process. That's why we're all on this crazy island together under the same Constitution, is because we want it to be difficult. And so I think it's a great triumph for freedom. And by the way, if you are compromised, if you need to wear a mask or you want to wear a mask, you can still wear a mask.
It's choice.
And it will provide precisely the protection that a mask provides.
Yeah, and you know, Kennedy, what we were discussing last hour on the Faulkner Focus, there are people who were wearing masks before. I mean, you would see the elderly and some who were tender, who can't get a flu vaccine, for instance, or can't get a whole host of things. And wet spittle was maybe something that they want to protect themselves from. And so their doctors may tell them that that's a good idea for them to do that. But this is about choice. And I take this as the same category with everything else the CDC says is a choice. And there's a long list.
And I hope and pray that what we don't wind up with is a continuation of the divisions, because the divisions between people that are doing one thing and not doing the other, it's tearing us apart, and it's not good. And so I guess we have to remember to have you know, grace and empathy. We were talking about it a minute ago. For you know, obviously there are going to be people out there who need to wear a mask.
Yes. Some people may choose to wear it for health reason. Absolutely, you should if you're immunocompromised. But some people will wear it as a political statement.
Oh, don't you know that?
You think that will happen?
Oh, yes.
And what does it tell the world?
Yes. I mean,
what is your statement?
Look at the fact that 80% of those passengers going through Reagan Airport in D.C. are still wearing a mask. This is like Joe Biden's central hub. I don't think 80% are immunocompromised. I think they're making a political statement.
Well, and they're all calling for boycotting those airlines that dared to respect the federal judge's decision and say, all right, masks are not mandatory. So, for
let's
example,
shout them out.
Airline,
Delta, American, Spirit, United.
I'm in favor of that. I hope they boycott all of them.
Well, and it calls to mind, you know, for Alaska, for example, that was the one that I used to watch that video I told you guys about, where it told me that the air was only 60 seconds old and it was the safest place to be essentially on the planet, the cleanest air. Heaven forbid that we are allowed to exist in that little capsule without a mask.
So is the White House press briefing room, apparently, because COVID doesn't transmit among celebrities and reporters.
Exactly.
This is so much fun.